Hey y'all, so Tiana here. Today I decided to do a video kind of like the 6 best ways to be occupied during this quarantine. Cause I don't know about y'all, but I find that some days I am going a little stir crazy being in the house, especially because I've been working from home and being at home all the time. So I kind of wanted to do like a bit of what you can be doing to kind of keep your mind fresh, keep your spirits up just during this time of dread. So I did write them down in my handy dandy notebook. So I'm just gonna scroll through, go through my little 6 thing list, and then we'll go from there. So, and these are not in any particular order. These are just the way they came to me in my mind. That's the way that I put them on paper. So that's what I'm going to read them. So number 1, I put just to be cleaning or organized. So one thing my fiance and I have been doing during this quarantine is we have been trying to get stuff out of boxes because we did have a couple of boxes left. We moved in our apartment in November. So yes, we should have been completely unpacked by now, but we were not. So that's one thing that we have been doing is making sure that we go through and get everything out of the last few things that were in a box, or the last few things that were in pieces of furniture that we brought with us that we knew we didn't want, but until we replaced them, we just kept them. So all that stuff we've gotten rid of. We have finished. I keep saying this, my sisters pointed this out, that in every video I'm talking about being done furnishing this apartment, being done furnishing the living room. We are officially done. We bought a bookcase for all of the books that we had stacked in the corner in the box deal. And then we just bought a side table because I think I mentioned to you all before that we're not going to buy a coffee table yet because Julian's a bit destructive. So we did go ahead and get that stuff. We were able to like get a bookshelf and get that stuff all organized. And then I told you all in the last video that I ordered some stuff for the room. One of the pieces came. I'm still waiting for the other piece so that I can finish our kitchen officially. So that's one thing. Just making sure that you're keeping your house clean, or your apartment, wherever your living area, you want to make sure that you're keeping it clean. Number 1, because you got to make sure it's sanitized. And number 2, because there's always something in your house that you need to clean. There's always something in your house that you're going to find that's like, oh, I didn't know that was dusty. Oh, I completely forgot that I was supposed to be doing this. Oh, now that I have time to do this, let me go ahead and do this. This side of my hair is driving me crazy. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I worked a little harder on my hair this time than I did in my hair video that I posted last time. But anyways, so that was step 1. Just making sure that you're cleaning. If something is in disarray in your house, you can organize it. So I have found that that's been really, really helpful. I've made a point to make sure my house, it's hard with a 1-year-old, but I'm trying to make it an effort to make sure our apartment stays clean. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is mostly if you are working from home, or even if you're not working from home, if you're stressed out because you lost your job. So I guess either way this can work. I personally am working from home. Like my workspace is in my dining room right now. So my next suggestion is to step away. When you are not working, walk outside of your front porch. Take a walk around your apartment complex outside. On your lunch breaks or your 15-minute breaks, 30-minute breaks, whatever kind of breaks you get, actually leave from the workspace. Don't just sit there during your break. Try to make it a point to move around. Not overclouding your mind too much with work. Don't sit at your desk or sit at your dining table, wherever you are stationed in your house. Don't just sit there. Kind of make sure you are stepping away to kind of clear your head, even if it's just for a quick breather, because I have found that has really helped. I make sure I leave the computer every lunch break, every 15-minute break. And I don't care if I'm just laying on a couch. I make sure to leave the computer. So I find that's important too. Oh, if you guys notice, I'm wearing my old glasses, so they may be a little crooked. Julian broke my glasses, and the eye doctor, of course, is closed right now, so I can't get them fixed. So I'm wearing my old prescription, so bear with me. Number 3, self-reflect. And when I say self-reflect, think about this time, what your life is in this moment, and you know what? I don't want to be in a situation, if this happens again, I'm in the same situation. You want to kind of prepare for the nobody expected this. So you want to kind of be prepared next time. You want to kind of be like, you know what? I wasn't feeling how this went. This is what it should have been like. This is what my life should be. I'm going to make sure I have this much money in my savings from now on, because I don't want to have to be waiting for $1,200. Like that type of thing. This is the perfect time to be reflective. This is the perfect time to figure out what you want to make changes, what you want to change in your life. If you're mad because your job was considered non-essential and you've been out of work, if you want to think about putting yourself in a situation where you never have to kind of depend on someone else for a check, whatever that may be, this is the perfect time. Oh, this is driving me crazy. This is the perfect time to be in that moment. This is that perfect time to be living that life and thinking those thoughts, those kinds of thoughts. Kind of where do you want to be? Where do I see myself next year at this time? How much money do I want saved up? Where do I see myself living next year? So I'm not in quarantine in this city that I hate, in this state that I hate, whatever that may be, or whatever that may look like for you. I do think that is really important. If you can be making lists, you can be doing vision boards, whatever the case may be, just kind of making sure, even if you're stagnant in your reality, your mind is always moving. Next on my list of things, do not work from your bed. That was a big one. If you're like if you're really working from home, not like if you're an influencer, you're always at home, but if you're really working from home, try not to work where you're supposed to relax. And which is hard as it is, because you have to bring your work home with you, but still try to make your bedroom your safe space, or if it's not your bedroom, whatever your safe space is in your house. So for some people, their living room may be their safe space. Whatever your favorite room is in your house, where you feel the most relaxed, don't work from there, because it's going to taint it. So, for example, even though we have an internet hookup in our bedroom, our internet is I have to have a direct line to the modem. So it's in the living room. I have stretched it to our dining table, and I work from our dining table. I don't work in our bedroom. Could I? Yes. Will I? No. I'm not doing that. Because you still want to have a moment or a place where you feel like you can escape to. And for me, my bedroom has always been that place. Even when I didn't live on my own. Well, I don't live on my own right now, but I don't live with my blood family. Well, Julian is my blood family. Y'all know what I mean. You want to be able to get away, and my bedroom is my getaway, so I don't work from my bedroom. Video calling. If you're like me, you're really close with some of your family. So, not being able to see them, and them missing out on a lot of Julian's milestones in this past month, like his first birthday, a lot of people had to miss, and so on and so forth. His first Easter, like that kind of stuff. Well, not first Easter. He was alive last Easter, but he was a month old, so it didn't really matter. His first active Easter, where he got Easter baskets and whatnot, all of that stuff, our family had to miss. So, social media, whether it's going live on social media so your family can see you, or your children, or you're on FaceTime, you're on Duo, you're on Messenger, whatever it may be. Zoom, I think, is a big one. Microsoft has one called Teams. Whatever it is that you're using, if you still use Skype, whatever it is that you're using to connect with your family or friends, I think that's highly important. Because it not only gives you a chance to see them, but it gives you a chance to, if you're in quarantine by yourself, it gives you a chance to have some type of connection to somebody. Luckily, I don't have to be in quarantine by myself because I don't live alone anyways. But I could imagine you being in your apartment by yourself. The only person there has to be hard right now because no one can come over. I know I've been letting people come over, but nobody's supposed to come over. So I know that has to be really, really hard. Like I can only imagine how tough that is. So social media, going live on social media, Messenger, FaceTime, Duo, Skype, Zoom, Teams, whatever you're using, make sure you're utilizing it. All of these ways to talk to your loved ones is out there. Use it. Don't just sit in your apartment or your house or wherever you're living, lonely and bored, if you can sort of cap it somewhere. And then, last on my list of goodies is learning a new skill. So, for me personally, learning a new skill or hobby looks like working on my corsage business. I don't know if you all noticed, but in my last vlog, I did post like some corsages that I hand make, that I'm starting to turn into a business. So for me, quarantine looks like practicing that. It looks like doing research, as in looking at other people's on Instagram and seeing how great they are, and like, oh, I'm just starting, but I can't wait to get to that level. Or just practicing, like getting the materials and just going for it. So I think that's really, really important. I don't feel like a lot of people on social media have been putting people down in the sense of, if you go back to, if this ends and you ain't learned nothing new, what were you doing with your time? What were you doing with your time? I don't mean in that sense. I'm just saying you can always find room. There's always room for improvement. We have all this free time, even if it's just a commute. Like Andre and I, we were having to get up and leave the house by 7:05, 7:10. And I work at 8:25 and he worked at 9. So if I had to get to work at 8:25 and you had to get to work at 9 and we were leaving at 7, that's like a 2-hour commute that we no longer have to do. So now instead of waking up at 5:30, 5:45, we can sleep in till 7:30 and still be okay. 8 o'clock and still be okay. So what are you doing with that free time? Because you're probably not sleeping because your body's used to being up. So that could be time you could be reading a book. That could be time you could be, because it doesn't have to be a skill. It could just be a hobby that you start focusing more on. If you like to read, that's your time. That to and from commute can now be the time that you pick up a book. The book that you never finished that you've been working on for 5 months. Things of that nature. For us, for me, I'm not going to speak for him, but for me, I've really been enjoying it because even though Julian is a handful, that's a few hours extra a day that I get to spend with my baby, because I wasn't able to do that. That's a few extra times a day that I could pop in on him, and when I'm not on the phone, to play with him for 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever. And it just brightens his day, and it makes me so happy to see him so happy and so excited to see us. So I think you just have to find a way to make this work for you. Find a way to make it worth it. Find a way to make it enjoyable. Everybody's upset. Everybody's stuck in the house. We're not upset, but everybody's mad and tired. Everyone's over being in the house at this point. There's nothing we can do about it. You're sitting at home on the couch anyway. Time's passing you by. You might as well learn something new. I'm just playing. But no, seriously. You might as well make the best of a not so great situation. Look around your house. See what you've been putting off, what DIY projects you've been putting off, or some simple fixes to your house that you've been putting off, or, oh, I've been meaning to clean my fan. Like, I can finally clean my fan. Whatever it may be, this is that time to do it. Try to look at it as positive instead of protesting and picketing outside of our governor's home because you want to go outside and play. Because what's the fun in that, and what is the point in that? Which, by the way, ours was just extended to May 15th. Which I feel like it should be longer than that. But y'all want to go outside and picket and protest in front of her house. For what? But anyways, that's it for this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will talk to y'all